What's going on, everyone? So let's take a look at Cardano ADA, what's going on with it today. So here we are ranked number 5, currently price point $1.19. Last 24 hours we're up in the green slightly. Last 7 days, red 2%, not a big deal, but market cap for today is $38 billion. So let's go ahead and look at the chart really quick. I'll give some quick predictions on that, and then I'll show you guys some little updates and news and things of that nature. But here I am on TradingView, and I'm using the USD calculated. This is by TradingView, and I'm using Binance for the exchange. So if you're using a different exchange, it might look a little different in terms of chart, but for the most part, it's almost the same. And just remember, this video is for entertainment purposes only. This is not financial advice. Be sure to do your own research before making any investments. But right now we can see the price currently on this chart, $1.18. And for the most part, Cardano looks like it's been trending upwards for the past few weeks. And I'll zoom out the chart in just a second. But let's just take a look at the short term. I'm using 1 hour viewpoint right now. And it looks like we're just consolidating sideways for a bit. Currently right now, it might be a little hard to see, but the blue line right here, this is the 50 EMA. And at least for the last day or so, we can see that we did have this big spike in the price. And then now we have it above the 50 EMA right here. So if we were to go back and look at the current trend right now, let me just zoom out really quick, and I'll just show you guys really overview of Cardano, what's been going on. Let me shrink this up a little bit, and let's just zoom in. All right, so here is for our charts, and this is just back in February. So I mean, a few months back, and I just put this. I can probably change this lower here, and then pretty much for the most part, if we were just to look at this current trend line, right? And if you want to touch it on the 50 EMA, you could do it as well. But it doesn't have to be perfect. But at least just a general overview of what's going on in the market, at least for Cardano ADA, is it basically looks like it's been trending upwards. It made it above the 50 EMA for quite some time. And then all of a sudden we see it sell off around here early March. And it didn't go too far in terms of the dip. If you want to, mark this starting at the 50 EMA and then check this percent drop. It's like a 20%, give or take, nothing crazy. But then we decided to have this massive spike in price, all the way up back again, touch pointing this looks like the 149 price point. And this term the level of resistance, it wasn't able to break out, and then people sold off again. We dropped below the 50 EMA, now we're back above. So it seems like right now, currently, and this is like a general overview, is this price point right here looks like 149. Seems to be the major resistance that we're going to eventually have to break out. And in terms of this potentially reaching $2, I'll go into that in a second. But since we have this 149 here, so we tested it out, we couldn't break out, we sold back off. Tried it one more time again, still couldn't break out, sold back off. And then here we had a little spike in price, but nothing really happened yet. So in terms of short term, it is the weekend too. So demand's probably not going to be as big as during the week. And also in terms of like major news happening, that's also a factor as well. And at least to my research, I haven't found anything super major, at least right now. But maybe in the next few weeks we'll see something happen. But going back to like the 1 hour chart, let's just take a quick look, closer view of really see what's going on here. So in the short term, at least for the next few days or so, or even the next few weeks, I could see this consolidate slightly again above the 50 EMA. Now, if this were to take a little slight dip, I don't think it would be too big of a dip. I mean, if you were to just measure this at the lower points and just see some of the support levels here, I mean, you're looking closer to maybe like the 116, 117, depending on which candlesticks that you want to measure this off of. And at that point, that's micro in terms of the drop. And then if this were to break out even lower and start trending downwards even more, then yeah, we could see this breakdown pass below the 50 EMA. But if this were to continue and repeat the same pattern where it drops below and then goes back above the 50 EMA again, then again we'll see this trending upwards. But at least right now, what the big thing we need to break out first is this one right here. So this high point in the short term. If we can get over this $1.29, basically if you want to run that to 130, then that's a big move in terms of what could potentially happen for Cardano and give us a better indicator in terms of this trend and where it's going. So first off, we need to see that break out of the 130. I'd say pretty much 129, 130 price point. I'm using this high of the recent and also have these measurements here too at this candlestick. And then if you want to zoom this out a little more, we can see an even bigger jump that we need to hit. And then the next step after that would be the 135 price point. So if we were to break out and then boom, we get to the 130 pretty much. Now we're in this territory. So consolidate breaks out potentially. then we would have to break out of this 135 price point because we got candlesticks here, also here and here. So at that price point, we can break out there, then that's an even better sign in terms of the bullish momentum and where Cardano is going. And then after that, obviously, the next level of resistance would be the 149 pretty much price points, and you can see the high up here. So once those are the next steps I would want to see Cardano do before I start saying like some crazy numbers that it could potentially hit. And then obviously, let's just say hypothetically, for instance, let's try to measure the $2 price point, because that's a big number. Even numbers psychologically, that's a big deal. Now, if you were to just measure the current price point today and just say, all right, let's say hypothetically, what happens if it hits 2? So at this price, I mean, you're looking at what, like a 68 give or take. So basically 60+% gain, which it's still a huge amount, right? So yeah, in normal cryptocurrencies, you see crazy returns, but at the level Cardano's at, with this market cap pretty much at almost, let's round this up to 40 billion, you'd have to add basically, it looks like if you round that 68 to 70% on top of this market cap, which aka that means that's a lot of money that has to be injected from somewhere. So just keep that in mind. Now, is that going to happen anytime soon? Again, I always like to look at what Bitcoin's doing, and then the other altcoins tend to pretty much follow suits. And some people can argue, oh, Cardano is itself, it moves by itself. But in reality, if Bitcoin were to drop to 20K today, I can almost bet that all these other cryptocurrencies are going to take a huge hit, all right? So unless there's something where it flips or we see some major things happening, and then, next thing you know it, another cryptocurrency decides to be the dominant figure, then again, we'll have to wait and see. But at least short term, I'm just trying to show you guys like the visuals and the potential that would have to actually gain in order to see this potential $2 mark. We still have a lot of resistance levels we have to test first. And then let's just see the worst case, guys. Because again, I could say it's going up and up forever, but reality, let's say if this were to drop and then it just, for some reason, the market does not do well. Maybe summertime, people sell off, they go on vacation, demand dies off, and then we got to wait till Q4 like back in 2017 again. Then let's just say hypothetically, I mean, if you want to see like worst cases, we have support levels within, closer towards the 106 and then again towards the, 102. And basically, I'd say the $1 price points, the even number is definitely, there's still room for it to potentially drop back down to the $1 price point, right? Even number. And also, I mean, if you look back here, historically, the past few weeks, we see it basically drop, at least right here, 103. This one's pretty much sub $1. And then that's just a short term, right? Now, let's just see what is that percent. I'm guessing it's not too big of a percent. If we were to just go back to like the $1 price points, yeah, it's like a 15% dip, not too crazy. So don't be surprised if we see Cardano take a dip and then continue trending upwards again. Again, this market's super volatile, so it's really something we just have to wait and see and what happens in terms of playing out. Now we're gonna zoom back in, and then pretty much, for instance, RSI, you can see here, and if I get this little icon, but basically like if you see these points right down here and then here, once I move the mouse back, you'll be able to see it. But let me see if I move right there. Okay, yeah. So here pretty much we can see that we have like this upward trend. So that could indicate that we could see some more room for growth. But then once we see it reach the overbought territory, then that might be an issue that we could see a little slight sell-off and then rinse and repeat. But again, these are just short-term looks on what I think could potentially happen in Cardano and just my own take on this. But now let's just look at some updates. What's going on with Cardano? This article is a little older, but I still want to show you guys this because this, again, Cardano is not one of those things that just happen overnight and the price, goes straight up. So here, this is, a few weeks back, but this is showcasing like the change, the shift, and basically why some people are super, super bullish on Cardano. But you can read the title, guys. But there states here, Hodgkinson's 100 companies looking to migrate from Ethereum to Cardano. So already, it seems like there's a big shift that we're looking at, and a lot more companies are trying to utilize Cardano versus using Ethereum. So again, they have it here basically that they have 100 companies in the pipeline that are transitioning to Cardano's blockchain. And this is from Charles himself. And basically you can see here that Hodgkins noted that the delay was actually necessary for Cardano because they basically want to create an end product that can satisfy the needs significantly higher than just simply running stable coins or DeFi products, aka referring to Ethereum. And then he has a little quote here: "We did it right, but it meant we were one of the last to get to the market." So in terms of, time frame, a lot of people are impatient. They like to get things fast. They want to have, instant gratification, right? But in reality, it's really the one who survives the longest, right? The one that actually makes it out and doesn't die off, or whatever happens, they still can survive and build on what they're trying to do and accomplish their goals. But here they state that Hoskin, his goal is to run countries on this blockchain, and he doesn't care about Uniswap, CryptoKitties, or any of those things. He says it's a bubble, and it's like come and go, like Pet Rocks, Beanie Babies, etc. So basically, he's saying he's not looking to these like quick trends, get this hype. He wants to see something that's long term, like countries actually running on this blockchain. So that's pretty cool to see. And in terms of their, I'd say his vision and what he's trying to do, that's definitely a good sign for people investing. Now, again, could he be completely wrong? Something crazy bad happens, and next thing you know, the project, tanks. Sure, this is a crypto market. There's a lot of companies that made it in this top page. I'd say top 100 that they literally went to zero. So do keep that in mind again. But for the future, assuming that things work out, then yeah, we could possibly see Cardano maintain its rankings and even surpass the current prices it's at right now. But we'll just have to wait and see. And then here's what's pretty dope too. This was actually a more recent article, and I'll read the title really quick just to give you a summary. But smart contracts are coming to Cardano this spring. And they stated this was going to be around in April, so I'll go check in a second. But basically, the Alonzo testnets, they're actually going to allow developers to deploy their own decentralized apps, aka dApps, to the Cardano blockchain. So here, they state that this is going to, as soon as the end of April, they're going to launch these smart contracts. And essentially, this will allow them to deploy dApps, aka decentralized applications, with Cardano. Now, here they say that this is just more technical stuff regarding like the blockchain, smart contracts and stuff. Which, if you guys want to check this article, feel free. They even have this cool little video down here. And I want to show some more stuff down here. So they states that the smart contract, that's a major milestone for Cardano because it'll basically make the blockchain a viable comparator to Ethereum. So that's a big update right there. And they also state that back since last summer, Ethereum's DeFi ecosystem, they have boomed, building a wide array of decentralized applications, which that was one of the big sales points I'd say for ETH. And these are all based on smart contracts. And now, guess what? The same functionality is coming to Cardano, which is crazy. So, bullish. I'd say I'm bullish. But again, we'll just have to wait and see. Time will tell. And then, obviously, we can keep going down here. And this is pretty cool. They say, according to DeFi Pulse, the total value locked in DeFi currently amounts to $40 billion. Meanwhile, the major platforms, MakerDAO, Compound, AAVE, and many others are based on the Ethereum smart contract. So, with Alonzo, Cardano will be able to expand it into this multi-billion-dollar market as well. And then they have this other comparison down here talking about the fees with Ethereum. And like you can say here, the average transaction fee on Ethereum has recently surged to new all-time highs, reaching roughly $43 on February 23rd. And that's big. So again, we'll have to wait and see what happens with Cardano. And maybe everyone shifts over. It looks like they're already starting. But again, at the end of the day, Vitalik, Ethereum guy, he's a super genius too. So we'll just have to see what they're working on as well. But short term, I could see this price, if it continues to trend upwards, we could reach, slight gains for now. But again, the next few months, maybe we could see this reach potentially $2. We'll have to wait and see. But these are just my own general thoughts and my opinions. And I could be 100% wrong. The price could crash and tank. So again, guys, we'll have to wait and see. But definitely do let me know what your thoughts are on Cardano, your price predictions. Also, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button for new updates on the market. Smash the like button. And one last thing, if you guys are interested in getting 2 free stocks valued up to $1,850, then feel free to click the first link in the description below. Sign up for an account, and as long as you deposit $100 minimum or more, you'll be able to receive 2 free stocks valued up to potentially $1,850. And aside from that, I will see you in the next video.